Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Justin Wolf from Wolf Customs. And us outdoorsmen, when it comes to flashlights, what do we truly love? We love our headlamps. Headlamps are one of those things that frees up our hands and we can do a lot of various tasks, especially when it comes to setting up our camp in the dark. So the YKS company has sent me this particular headlamp to test out and do a review on. Now, right out of the gate, I told this company that I will not do the review unless they are willing to take the good in with the bad. The lady that I was speaking with, she had no problem with that, so here we are. So this particular light, when I first pulled it out of the package, the first thing I noticed is that it is extremely lightweight, very lightweight, which is perfect for backpackers especially. But it's great for all of us, because who wants to have a big giant brick on our head that's going to constantly weigh us down? We don't. We want something that's lightweight and comfortable to wear. This thing does have a very nice, comfortable headband, which is very comfortable. I've had it on with my hat and I've had it on without my hat, and it feels quite nice. I have no complaints there. And it is adjustable, so if we have a big giant biscuit head, we can suck it out, or if it's for one of our kids or something, then we can pull it in, and it's going to be a one size fits most. Now, as you can see, it does swivel up and down, which is also quite nice. This particular light has 3 modes. It has a high mode, a low mode, and then a strobe. It's about 300 lumens, and they advertise this thing as being ultra bright. Now, I have not used this outside in the woods yet. I've only used this in my house, and I've got to say I was extremely impressed with what I saw in the house, for sure. You'll notice that this thing does zoom in and out, so that way you can actually have the light throw, or you can zoom in just by pulling that out, and it focuses that beam more of a spotlight manner. See if you see that, which is very nice. And that's seriously, literally all you have to do is pull that out and push it in, which is very easy to operate. Now, in close quarters, I was able to zoom out, zoom in, and everything, and it really didn't make much of a difference when I was in the house. But I haven't been able to test this thing, like I said, out in an environment like this where I'm testing it long range or anything. So it's going to be nice to do it at that point. I'm glad that I'm doing it tonight because it is sprinkling a little bit. We could have a torrential downpour at any moment. I have no idea. They do advertise this thing as you are able to use it in the rain. They don't advertise it as being waterproof, but if they advertise it as being able to use it in the rain, obviously it's water resistant to a certain extent, which again is an absolute must when it comes to a flashlight or a headlamp, in my personal opinion. The only thing that I have found with this particular light so far that I don't like is how you replace the batteries. You can see on this side you have a tab, and on this side you have a tab. You have to press those tabs simultaneously and pull it off like that without turning the light on to get the batteries out. Now, the reason I didn't exactly like this too much is because these are very thin plastic tabs, and I was very concerned that they were going to break. I was also very concerned with how they were going to hold up in extreme cold, because I love winter camping. You guys know that. And the last thing I want is to have this thing break when I'm out there in the middle of God knows where and I can't get this thing back together. So I contacted the lady that first contacted me about this, and I told her my concerns with these tabs. She assured me that these particular tabs will not break in extreme cold because of the cold. I'm going to put that to the test also. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in my freezer for about an hour, and then I'm going to mess with these tabs a little bit, see if they feel brittle or if I break them or anything like that. She did, however, tell me that it is important that you squeeze those simultaneously in order to avoid some sort of breakage with the light itself. Which, personally, I think something better could be done with those tabs. I don't think that this plastic right here is just the way to go. I think that there's probably a better way of doing it. I have pulled this off and on several times, and obviously it hasn't broke yet, but that is absolutely not to say that it can't break. Let's do it again. And like I said, I've pulled it on and off several times. It does operate on 3 AAA batteries, which is nice because, I mean, we can get rechargeable batteries nowadays, and that's pretty much all I use anymore is rechargeable. But let's let the sun go down a little bit more, and we'll make our way out into the woods, and we're going to see how this thing does, and hopefully it will rain on us. Keep our fingers crossed. Stay with me.
Right now I've got it completely pulled out. The light throws really well. I don't know how well it's coming out on the video, but it throws really nice. Up close, it's extremely bright, and I can see a good distance out into the woods for sure. Okay, there's a tree right out here in front, probably about 40, 45, 50 yards, and it's just out of the range of the camera's eyesight with the flashlight zoomed out to throw the light. So let's zoom in and really focus the beam and see how she does. And you can see I put it in just a little bit, and she's starting to illuminate the tree. You can see that it really focuses the beam really bright on a particular spot for sure. When I pull it back out, the tree is just out of range. That's actually pretty cool. The camera is going to do this absolutely no justice at all. It really does look really nice. I mean, it really does work great as a spotlight. You know, as far as the maximum distance that this thing will show. Oh, you know, it's kind of hard to tell with the thick woods, but I'm going to venture to say that I could see probably about 70 yards fairly well with this. You know, I'm telling you guys right now that most of the time I give away all the free items. This particular item I am going to hang on to for a little bit longer because I really want to do some more testing of this thing. I've got a 40-mile kayak trip coming up next week, and I want to take this thing with me. I want to see exactly how well it will do, because right now I'm actually pretty dang impressed with it, believe it or not. Like I said, I don't believe that the camera is going to do it any justice whatsoever. So let's drop it down to the low mode. Oh wow, it completely dropped off. The camera doesn't pick that up at all. What about strobe? Low mode is actually quite bright. It was a lot brighter than what it appears. Damn bugs. But camera just has a hard time picking it up. Alright, it did great outside in warm temperatures, but like I said, I was a little concerned about those tabs when it got really cold. So we're going to put this right here in the freezer, and we're going to let it sit for at least an hour, maybe a couple hours. We're going to come back and see how it does then. Alright, so she's been in here for about 2 hours now. Starting to frost over and everything. Still works just fine. Now's the part that I was nervous about. Didn't break, so that's a plus. And they don't necessarily feel brittle. They still have some flex to them, so that's a plus. Still seems to be functioning just fine too. So the YKS headlamp actually surprised me a lot, guys, not gonna lie. This thing has a selling point of $14.95. So for the price and the performance, I would say that it's worth the money. Literally the only thing that I had to complain about is those tabs. That is it. And they didn't break on me, and you seen me put it in the freezer. I left it in there for about an hour and a half or so, and she still performs just fine. It was really bright, even more so when you're in person. The camera just didn't do it justice at all. So like I said, for 15 bucks, I don't think it can be beat. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave in the description box all the information on where you can find one of these. And yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and as always, have a good one.